Welcome back, everybody, to the Los Angeles Angels franchise here with the two idiots. We are fourth in the division right now, 9 games out of first place, and we're going to be heading to Sacramento to finish up the road trip to start this episode.
This is a make or break. If we can manage a series win, it'll put us back up in the rankings. Actually, in second place, hopefully. But I mean, a sweep would be even better. But if we get swept, that's pretty much a nail in the coffin with just a tick over a month of baseball left. So let's go into Sacramento and kick some athletic ass. Fuck.
Oh, man. I love when you do those speeches and it works, but it's so devastating when it doesn't.
Yeah, it hurts. It hurts. Makes me not want to do them anymore. But I just get the urge to pump it up. Let's go. I'm excited. Let's win. Let's go. No, the team's got to let me down. We had 6 hits. 6 hits. 2 walks and 5 strikeouts. It's a double from Jason Dominguez, a double from Brian Rocchio, and an RBI from Jason Dominguez. That was it. That's the total of the offense on the day.
It's not a bad day on the mound for Dakota Hudson, but he'll pick up his second loss. 3 earned runs over 5 is really not the worst, like I said, but Victor Gonzalez and Ben Joyce have clean relief innings after that, but once again, the offense is just nowhere to be found.
Okay, so that's only one game. We can still win the series. We can still salvage this. Rhett Lauder's on the mound, hunting for win number 10. There we go.
All right.
There we go.
Finally.
Wow, we actually know how to swing the bats. For 11 hits on the day, 3 walks and 5 strikeouts. We have RBIs from Lawrence Butler with 3, Dalton Rushing with 1, and Joe Adell with 2, because there's doubles from Butler, Rushing, and Adell. No home runs today. All small ball. Now we have a stolen base from Joe Adell and a caught stealing from Lawrence Butler. But no errors.
No errors.
That's a positivity.
Something to be thankful for, yeah. I'm also thankful that Rhett Lauder gets win number 10. We finally cracked double digits in a win category. As he goes 6 2/3, allowing 5 hits, only 1 earned run. He did walk 5, which is a lot higher than normally we see from him, but he struck out 5 as well. So able to get out of the jams despite the base runners. And then Hunter Gaddis actually gets credited with save number 3 off of 2 1/3 innings pitched. No earned runs, 1 hit, 1 strikeout.
Man, that 2.86 ERA is great.
It's pretty.
Yeah. Awesome. All right. Okay. We so far have split the series. This is the defining factor right here. Walker Buehler is going to get win number 10.
Come on. Did he do it?
No.
No, Ben Joyce got it.
Damn it.
Okay, but you know what? Series win. Series win. Yep.
Series win. And I said that was a big positive for us facing a division rival. So,
yeah.
Man, we had 10 hits on the day. Man, only 2 walks, but 10 strikeouts. Damn, that is rough.
Such a mixed bag, yeah.
We have doubles from Brady House and Kyron Paris, a home run from Joe Adell. The RBIs in the day were Joe Adell with 2 and Nolan Sean Noel. And a stolen base from Matthew Lugo. Again, no errors.
Walker Buehler pitched like he was going to get win number 10. 5 innings. He had 5 hits against him, only 2 earned runs, 3 walks, 6 strikeouts. Still a very good line. I'll take that pitching to start or get 5 innings out of him. That's really good. Victor Gonzalez has a clean inning. Ben Joyce with his second win on the year. He had a hit and a walk, but managed to get out of it with no earned runs. Tanner Scott, hold number 25, and Martinez for the final inning gets save number 35.
We have a little bit more of a challenge facing Cleveland at home. They're 68 64, and we're 64 68. So kind of mirror images on the records. They have Gavin Williams on the mound with a 10-10 record and a 5.16 ERA. Not good.
Wow.
Not good. And our side, we're putting up Luis Garcia, who's got an 8-10 record and a 3.25 ERA. So definitely pitching on our side is looking better. So let's invite Cleveland in and then put a hurting on them.
Oh, man.
God damn you, Cleveland. What did Quan do? Quan's only hitting 283. What a bum.
What a bum.
We got Mauricio Dubon hitting 292 off the bench.
Not today.
No, he went 0 for 4 and still has a 292 average. So, yeah, 3 hits. 3 hits, 1 walk, 7 strikeouts. And an error from Brady House. 2 stolen bases.
It's just insult to injury to get that error on top of a no offense day.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Really tough. Luis Garcia picks up loss number 11. He allowed 2 earned runs, and then the Brady House error allowed that 3rd run to come through on his watch. Hunter Gaddis and Ben Joyce also both allow earned runs. Gonzalez and Quijada close it out with no runs charged against them. But yeah, really, really ugly on the offense, and the pitching, not that much better through the first 75% of this game. Just another, I don't know if it's like depressing or if it's just, that letdown of like, I thought we would be better, like I would agree that a 500 season this year would be a good outcome, shooting for 500, but it feels like we shouldn't be struggling this much to get there. You know what I mean? With the offense being so inconsistent and really not showing up for multiple days at a time or even a week at a time. And then we'll get, one game where we win by 6 or something like that. Like, those are fun, but I didn't think that it would be this much of a struggle offensively this year. I thought that we were going to confidently get to 500, but we're 64 and 69 now off of that shutout loss against the Guardians, and they're not playing great either. They're 69 and 64 after the win, so they're just barely above 500. I don't feel like we should be feeling this dejected about the offense as we are almost 500. You know what I mean? It shouldn't be this much of a struggle just to break even.
No, and that's the thing that's just probably most frustrating is we see blips. Like, I know Phillies are sucking this year, but they still have good players on their team. We won the series against the Phillies. Then we go to Toronto, and we scored 4 runs in the whole series.
Yeah, we got crushed.
Then we beat the Yankees. Like, we took the series against the Yankees. So, and then we barely got 1 win against Houston. We scraped by with a 6-5 victory. Then we got fucking beat by Kansas City. It's like, they suck worse than us.
Yep.
Like, we barely managed a series win against the Athletics. We had 1 good game, the 6-1, but I mean, we scraped by that win to 3-2. So I mean, it's so weird that we can't seem to get out of our own way. And when you look at the ERAs, it's like, man, we should be over 500. Like, even our starters that were got fucking 10 and 11 losses, a lot of their ERAs are only mid-3s, which is great.
Great.
Since we got rid of Cal Quantrill, I mean, he was the worst of the pitcher we had. And then we brought Dakota Hudson up from the minors to fill a hole just for the rest of the year. And that poor bastard can't even get a win.
No, he's done really, really good. Especially considering, like, no expectations, really. We're just like, yeah, he's a body. Throw him up there. And he's been holding his own.
Yeah, I mean, like, his ERA is not the best, but, I mean, he's got, like, 2 losses now, and it's not really his fault. It's ridiculous, man. It just makes no sense that a team... Yeah, we're not stacked by any means. But, I mean, damn, the teams we should be beating were not. And it's like, man, we should be competitive. If we lost more games by 1 run, here and there, and then had a really good offensive day, and then one little kind of one where we get kind of beat like 11-4, those would be fine. But seeing us lose by 4 runs, by 5 runs, by 4 runs, by 1 run, by 2, like consistently always just getting beat enough for a loss. It's like the guys at the plate just can't clutch up. It's like the second a runner gets on base, you're like, I don't know what to do. I'll just strike out. I mean, the discipline has gone to fucking shit because we get 1, 2, maybe 3 walks a game.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. I mean, yeah, I know you're going to be going against major league pitching and you're not expecting to, get 10 walks a game. But man, could we get 4 or 5?
Yeah, just something to put people on base, The more often we do that, obviously the higher chance there is to drive them in. But like you're saying, and we identified it in one of that game. What did I say? There was 11 base runners.
Yeah.
And what did we score in that game? 1 or 2?
Was that
I don't remember.
Was that the 3 solo shots? Yeah.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah, we had 3 home runs,
that?
and none of them were with multiple runners on.
Yeah, and home runs are fun. I love home runs.
Yeah.
Of course, everybody loves home runs. You see the blast; it's really exciting. But ultimately, the more important situations are the one with runners on base. I would rather bases clearing double or, a single, with 2 RBIs. That's
Yeah,
more valuable than a solo shot.
exactly. You know,
We need to be able to play small ball, and we're not doing it.
no, no. I mean, Royce Lewis is getting lots of home runs, but I mean, how many times have we seen him only with 2 home runs with 2 RBIs?
Yeah.
Like no
Well,
one.
and that's going to be the thing too, is that he has been mashing home runs, and we've seen it so often. He's going to have 40 plus this year. He's been excellent. He's having just an amazing year. And I had said in previously one of the series that we were in, I wish he would have made it into the home run derby. Would have been fun to watch him do that. But ultimately, I feel like the trajectory is that we're going to waste this offensive year because we're struggling to try to climb just to get to 500 and break even, despite all of the contributions that Royce Lewis has been making. It's been really, really tough to find one guy that's really putting it together and having such a great year and us not be able to back him up. Like this feels like that situation that the Pirates must be going through with Paul Skeens. You've got a generational pitcher who is doing an incredible job and not getting the offense behind him. It's the opposite way there, to where Royce Lewis is putting together an incredible year, and there's nobody else that's really been able to do anything. So aside from the Royce Lewis home runs, we can't depend on any offense, and that's just so demoralizing.
It is. And like I said, I knew some of the guys were not going to be. So like Brady House, we put him in there because we technically didn't have a DH, and with the tough issues to try to sign free agents because of the way the game runs it now, you gotta entice them. So like we knew we didn't have be able to entice a big bat, so we took our big bat and put him in DH, and we give Brady House a shot, and he's had sparks. I mean, there's games where he gets home runs, but I mean he's also been mediocre for the majority of the season, and it's like, man, like we can't put Brady House DH because he's a decent defender. Royce Lewis isn't a great defender, so we're stuck. We don't have a power bat to put in DH. So that's Royce Lewis's job. And then we don't have a great third baseman in Brady House because we don't have anything in the minors that's really great. So we're just kind of in that limbo of, we got guys that should be good and they're not. We got guys that need to break out and they're not. And it's everything is a not. And that's the problem. We're not winning games. We're not scoring runs. This is, we're the Los Angeles Knots.
It's the toughest part of the rebuild right now. Is we've made changes in year one that we expected to make us better. In year two, we've made some swaps and some trades as well. We called a few guys up, but we're in that part of the rebuild that none of the pieces that we've been able to draft or trade for are right now in their best forms. You know what I mean? So we've got guys that are developing. We've got guys that are like, okay, yes, we see the future for them. We're just not there yet. And so in year two, what that means is that our pieces that we've put in place to be effective down the road are there, but they're not as effective as what their future potential lies in. You know what I mean? So like, they're still growing, which we knew was going to be part of it. But in year two, it's very difficult to maintain that level of positivity because it's like, okay, well, we made all these changes. Why aren't we working? Like, why aren't they doing this? It's because it's only year two. We need more development time. We need more pieces. We just drafted an incredible draft class, but that skews pitcher heavy. So I think next year, what we need to target for the draft in 27, if we don't make blockbuster trades to shore up the lineup, year three is when we need to start making some of those tougher decisions, I think. Yeah. And we need to say, hey, listen, the pitching staff has been great. We've got guys now in the pipeline. We've got 3 potential aces, 95 potential for Michael Bostofka, 94 potential for Carlos Chavez, 93 potential for Sergio Montoya, 3 starting pitchers with A potential, and a short pipeline to get there. Yeah. We've got pitching now firmly in hand. I'm really excited to see where that goes. But what about the offensive prospects?
Yeah, like I said, other than Tom Gregg, we don't got much. And I mean, if our record doesn't improve, enticing free agents is going to be tough again.
It's going to be even tougher.
We can't even overpay people. I mean, we dumped a boatload of contract to have money to entice players, but with the new system, it's like no one even wants to talk to us. They're like, "No, dude, you guys suck." And it's like, "Yeah, but if we get you, we'd be better." If we get you and 2 other guys, we'd be better. Like, come on over here, look what we got coming, and look what you can do, and we'll give you lots of money. Come on over here and play ball. They're like, "Fuck you." Their agent's not even answering the phone. We're just getting voicemails. That's all we're doing. And it's like, that's just the tough thing. I was hoping, that we could squeeze out like some more wins to be a little bit more competitive. So that when we
Yeah.
go into free agency, it's like, oh, we really want one guy or even two guys. It's like I would go and like leave the guys on the board for two or three, rotations to try to get some interest, but they're going to be signed by other people before they even get close enough for us to offer. And that's
Yeah.
kind of the frustrating point. It's like we're kind of stuck hoping for our draft picks to get good. And it's like,
Yeah.
I mean, if we want to just say, okay, we're just gonna burn through a whole season, we'll basically go in and do our scouting and then just burn through week after week and then just, kind of skip season 3 and just see what happens. I mean, we're kind of at the point where, we're halfway through the actual cycle of the game and we're clipsing, the end point of season 2. But like to see this rebuild go longer than 3 seasons, I know we did try to speed it up, but I think we might have to really put the pedal to the metal and really just burn through the rest of the season, maybe, and then, focus on drafting some bats. Hopefully, we can pull off a few decent signings in the offseason or package some trades out. Like, I mean, we got guys in the minors that are close. So maybe some of the major league guys are be packaged off for, two guys for one type of deal. We may have to kind of scrape the bottom of the barrel in our minor league organization for another season to try to make some trades. But man, it's the pieces we got. The puzzle is looking really bad. We look like we took two puzzle boxes and mixed them up, and we definitely don't have any of the pieces that are working outside of Royce Lewis and a handful of our relievers.
Yeah.
So I know a bit of a rant on the abysmal Angels, but man, like this, trying to put this in perspective. I mean, we struggled with the Nats, and even the 3 seasons that we managed the Nats, we didn't win a World Series until we simmed afterwards just to kind of see where the players would go. And I mean, it
Yeah.
took us 3 seasons to get the Cubbies to the World Series and win it. So the Angels definitely are not going to be anywhere as close to a World Series win in season 3.
No, this has been our biggest series challenge to date for sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely certain of it. Yeah. And I think that we wanted that, right? We
Yeah.
wanted to have a series because we picked the Nationals and they were in kind of a similar, they're in the rebuild fully. The Angels, the problem with them is that they were not in rebuild mode. They were, okay, we're going to drown, but that's fine. They wasted the talent of Mike Trout for how many years? They didn't build around the rest of the team, extended contracts or large contracts to guys that didn't deserve that money. Just mismanagement from top to bottom. And it's put us in such a situation because at least with the Nationals, they had a plethora of guys in the farm system that we could hope for the future. The Angels didn't really have almost anybody. And when you're starting from scratch, yeah, it's going to take multiple years. But again, just the expectations for year 2 were a little bit higher than what we're at now. And maybe we're even overreacting just a pinch because
Yeah.
we're 5 games under 500. It's not a massive loss season, like it's not good, but
No.
I expected it to be less bad. That's all.
Yeah, I know. Like I said, we had a horrible record last year, and I know at the first of the season we kind of talked about it, and we thought 500 was kind of like would have been a massive jump for us to turn around and win that many more games. That was a big plateau as 500, and as we kind of sucked and then slowly got a little bit better, and then all of a sudden we went on some streaks, and all of a sudden we were like right there. And it's like,
Yeah.
oh, we had our hopes kind of got boosted a little bit, and then all of a
That's
sudden,
probably why this hurts.
it's probably then all of a sudden it's like, oh, you guys aren't that good, so you guys need to just calm down and just lose because we got excited. We remember we tried to burn through a few weeks to try to get some season in, and all of a sudden we
Yeah.
went on massive win streaks.
Yeah, we win like 7 out of 10 over the next 2 weeks.
Yeah, and now we're struggling to beat teams that are under 500. I think that's what
Yep.
hurts worse. I mean, playing a team like, that's, 15 games over 500 and we lose. Oh, that's expected. But we played teams like the Athletics in Kansas City and Toronto and the teams that are just barely over 500 or just under 500. We're not even competitive against people in our own level. So we don't
Yeah.
deserve a 64-69 record, I feel.
No, we've squeezed out some wins that we probably shouldn't have, and we've lost a lot of games that we should have won. So it's demoralizing from a lot of different areas right now, but really now, ultimately, as we're nearing the end of August at 64 and 69, I think getting to 500 by the end of the year might be just outside of what's realistic. I know we're only 5 games down, but it's the offense, and they've been consistently bad outside of Royce Lewis and who was it? Mauricio Dubon has also got a really high average right now. But other than that, I mean, Lawrence Butler is putting together some power recently. I mean, that's nice, but it's not consistent.
Yeah. And I'm thinking right now, if we could muster 75 wins,
75, yeah.
I think that would be an achievement.
I think so. And right now that's 11 games away. We've got the entire month of September and 4 more games here in the month of August. I think that 11 wins over a month and a week, 5 weeks, we'll call it. Yeah, I that feels about right for where we're at now. That feels realistic.
So on that note, let's kind of speed this up a little bit. Let's
Okay.
get through the month of August here, and we'll see what the outlook of September looks like. So we kind of step it up a little bit. Unless we get a really massive glaring box score to look at, we'll just kind of skip forward a little bit and kind of see where we end up. Wow, just as I say
Whoa.
that, we get a 2-1 win, and then a 12-10 win. My
Okay.
word. They had 15
Maybe the
hits.
secret is like we just need to check out.
Maybe.
When you're like, all right, you know what? I give up. We're gonna sim this week. And then all of a sudden, yeah, 12-10 was it?
We had 6 fucking walks, dude. Only 5
Wow.
strikeouts, 6 walks. We had 14 hits.
Well, and look at the extra 8 base hits on the batting down there. Only 4 extra base hits, 2 doubles, a triple, and a home run. And Zach Humphreys with the latter of those two. Fantastic. But that's small ball.
Yeah.
14 hits and 6 walks. That's 20 base runners minus the home run. So 19 base runners. And we get a massive day. Zach Humphreys drives in 6 RBIs. Royce Lewis drives in 2, rushing with 2, Adele with 2. We finally play small ball, and look at the result, guys.
Yeah, stop swinging for the fences. I mean, Lawrence Munster did a fucking error, because, I mean, why not?
Sure.
But then on the
Yeah.
pitching side, I mean, Dakota Hudson. Still, poor bastard doesn't get a win, but at least he gets settled with a loss. But he didn't pitch well at all. 4 and a
No.
third, 7 hits, 6 earned runs. That is abysmal.
No, but once again, the relief comes in clutch.
Yeah.
We had 5 guys come in, and between those 5 for the rest of the game, actually the majority of the game, only 2 earned runs, and that was from Quijada, who might be on a little bit of a skid right now. He'll still pick up the win, but still, it's the relief and the bullpen that is really, really serving us up and doing well for us. Dakota Hudson now has a near 5 ERA after getting blasted here in this game, but we finally show some spine. We show some backbone, and we are able to play small ball to win this game in a really, really competitive final line score of 12-10. It's an amazing win, and that's a series win for us now.
Yep.
So this is the stuff where it's like, okay, there's a lot of really hopeful signs. This is exactly what we're talking about and what we want to see. But now what's going to happen is we're going to go lose the next 5 games in devastating fashion.
Well, hopefully not. Well, there we go. We lost the
5 to
first.
6.
Yep. And
Yeah, okay.
then a 1-4. Whoops, I went a little
And
too
1-4.
far. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, we had 2 wins, and then now we have 2 losses. Make that 3 losses in a row. So we lose to
Yeah, we
Seattle.
get swept by Seattle.
Yeah, because I mean now we are 12 games out of first place, and I'm guessing we are
Nowhere near it.
6.5 at the wild card. I mean, we didn't have high hopes for a wild card, but when we were kind of skimming near the top, we had a little bit of hope. I think that was our problem. We had hope. We're not allowed to have that.
Yeah. We shouldn't have had that in year 2.
Positivity and hope is one thing we shouldn't have in year 2.
No.
So, all right, let's just skip the. Let's just finish the season. Let's do that. Let's finish the season
Just
out.
go for the rest of the month.
Yeah, let's just go right down. We're just gonna do sim, and then we'll do a quick recap.
So we started simming where we started this series against the Pirates. It was actually August 31st, but we ended up sweeping them in a low-scoring, I guess we pitched really well. The offense showed up, especially in Game 1 and Game 3. Then we go to Houston, and we win the first 2 games to seal the series, and then absolute disaster strikes. It's 2-20 that we take that loss. One of the worst games I've ever seen. We then nearly repeat it and go 1-16 against Baltimore in game 1 to get smashed there before losing game 2. We prevent the sweep. Then we pick up a win against Chicago. Here at home, we win game 1 and game 3. Game 3 looks like it was really good for us. We go back to Baltimore, or to Baltimore this time, but a series against them once again. We win game 1, lose the series. We then face Milwaukee. We lose the series. We face Texas. We lose the series. But our final series is against Detroit. We shut them out in game 1, lose game 2, and then we win in a big way in game 3 to end the year on a positive note. We do pick up more than 75 wins finally. In the month of September, we were more successful than not, but we do finally finish the series in year 2, 79-83, under that 500 mark, but it was at least a little bit closer.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I was overly optimistic to say 75 wins. After the such yo-yo-ish, up and down that we went through, I was figuring, I was being really optimistic to say 75. But man, 79, I'm gonna write positive about that. Because the year before was really bad. We had 14 losses in year 1. So, I mean, to scrape out a 79-83 record with the fucking bats being as bad as they were for the majority of the year, that's got to be a win. That's got to be in a win column for us.
Yeah, I think ultimately, and despite all the bad vibes at the end of this year, and we decided just to wipe the rest of the table off and clear it and just sim through September. There's still, I think, now that the season is over, once I come down from the emotional state of being so disappointed, ultimately we'll say, okay, you know what? Pitching was really strong for us throughout the year, for the most part. Obviously, the offense was the weaker half of baseball in Los Angeles for us this year, but we did have some bright spots. We had Royce Lewis, who crushed an excellent year. We had a few guys step up to the plate, metaphorically and literally. But we've got a really, really exciting farm system, I think, now. And we did do 2 call-ups in September. So why don't we check on those guys and see how they did? One of those call-ups was Travis Bazzana, who's up to a 74 overall. And through 20 games through the month of September, he played 76 at-bats. He averaged 263. He had a 325 OBP and a 447 slug. So that's an absolute success versus major league level talent for the first time in his career. And Bazzana at second base, who also plays nearly every other position, might just be a guy that we turn to a little earlier than expected.
Yeah, he had 2 home runs, had 2 triples, 4 doubles. I mean, you can't ask for a lot for a guy getting drug up in September on a team that's struggling, and to put up some positive numbers. I can't complain about that at all. I think he's going to be our starting second baseman next year.
Go back to his attributes. I just want to see how far he actually climbed on some of these categories. Yeah, defensively, a +6 to fielding, 3s to every other category there, a +7 to discipline this year, +5 to power righties, +5 to contact righties. He's doing everything right, and he's improving in a lot of really, really important areas. So I think I'd be comfortable. The fielding and everything is lower than what I would like. At the MLB level, you want somebody that's higher than a 62, 63 or so. But I think it's the low bar of what would be acceptable. As long as he's playing in his primary position so we don't take any more penalties, then I think at second base, I would probably trust Bazzana to be there. And it looks like the bat is developing well enough. The fundamentals are high as well. So yeah, Bazzana showed some grit, and he showed that in September, he's able to face MLB competition and be successful at the plate. And it's just, how much will the defensive be a question? That's where we're at with him. And the other guy that we called up was Tom Gregg. And through a very similar line, 19 games, so one less than Bazzana, but 76 at-bats. He averaged 289. He had a 321 OBP, but he slugged an incredible 579. 3 home runs, 2 triples, and 9 doubles. Incredible for the extra base hits. And yeah, Tom Gregg might just be ready to go.
Yeah, definitely. He, you look at his numbers in AAA are zeros because we called him up, and MLB the show still sucks. But in AAA, before we called him up, he was hitting like 275. That was for the year, so he's been playing well. You look at his attributes, there's some ups and some downs with him, but
Yeah.
I mean, he put up numbers that are greater than our three outfielders combined, I think.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm guaranteeing 76 at bats. Joe Adell is hitting 289. So, yeah, I think Tom Gregg and Travis Mazzana are going to be, I think, starters for the Angels next year. I think if we got these guys and they're playing well, I think we give them a shot. I really do.
Yeah, and they both proved it. In September, it's rare that you see these guys come up and be this successful. So, yeah, we had high hopes for them as prospects for the future. But like I said about Bazana, yeah, with Greg as well, and even more so in his case, I guess, his numbers reflect that. I think that it might be earlier, sooner rather than later that we see those guys. And here in year 3 coming up, we've got that decision to make. So we'll see.